Previously on the First Watch. So Hyde, you lead the way into the Silver Forest first and begin to pick your way through. As you all enter, it was midday when you kind of came upon this. After the first couple dozen feet into the forest, into the Silver Forest, you feel like you're walking at night. It's not that it's completely dark, it's just that it feels like it's moonlight that you're walking under. As the silver canopy changes the color and the mood of the forest, and things are eerily silent. Every once in a while, little bird call, little scuttle of something. There seems to be life here somewhere. As you all begin to make your way into this newly appeared silvery forest, the trees, a little bit like a birch, and that's what you assumed they were at first when you saw kind of whiter trees. But as you get closer, you realize the bark is much more like a maple tree, but silver in color. The leaves that come off of these trees are these long, thin leaves that are in clusters all the way down these slender branches. Hyde, very similar to the branch that you took off of the tree when you briefly teleported into the other dimension. As you walk in, it is silent, but not in an eerie way. There are small bits of activity, really for the first time in days that you've heard, having been trudging through the barren wastelands up to this point. You hear, it's a quiet forest, but you hear a little bit of underbrush move. You hear a bird flap through the trees at one point. And you begin to make your way north through this forest. Who is helming the line?
I would say that I am, since I was the one that climbed the tree and saw the building.
Okay. So Hyde, go ahead and roll a survival check.
All right. So, survival, 18 total.
18, okay. You are a little taken aback by the differences that you find in this forest. It's unlike anything that you've ever seen before. But before too long, you're like, trees are trees, and a forest is a forest. And you begin to find your way stealthily through, moving at a good pace but quietly, leading the group very adeptly and making good time through. Luna, snaking through trees with you and kind of darting out and in and helping you pick up the best little paths. Every once in a while, she's distracted from the scent of an animal and the sound, but she's a good girl and she stays with you as you're going along. As you push deeper and deeper into this forest, you begin to lose some of the daylight. It is very thick, and the canopy is very tight. But because of the nature of the way the sun comes through the silvery branches and silver leaves, it almost creates this bask of moon glow over you, even though it is middle of the day. And it's quite beautiful.
Wow. Can't say I've ever seen anything like this before.
it's not remarkably familiar to me either.
And I look up, and it's like normal canopy up in the trees.
It's very thick, but you do see kind of poking through little bits of sunlight and little beams of sunlight poking through the leaves, yeah.
The sun is what's making it look like that, right? It's not like an illusion or anything like that.
Yeah, it
Nothing
seems to be the sunlight
magic.
bouncing off all the silver tones that are in the forest. Just kind of tints the light a bluey silver as it comes through.
Wow.
Siki, as you're walking, kind of looking back and forth, all of a sudden, something flies up right in front of your face. A small, glowing, winged creature. Very tiny. And has the fast flutter rate of like a hummingbird. But for just a split second, you see floating in front of your face what seems to have little arms and little legs and a little face. Some sort of small sprite-like creature that just kind of flits there for a second and then as quickly as it came. Little light trailing behind it.
Hyde? Did you see the thing that just...
No, what thing? What did it do? What did it look like?
You know, it was probably like a dragonfly or something. It's no big deal. Do you have any like experience tracking bugs?
You know, out of all the things that I've tracked, bugs has never been one of them. So
I didn't think so. I just
did you see where it went?
I mean, I think there-ish. Do I still kind of see it?
No, you don't see it anymore. It just kind of took off.
There-ish. Is there anything that I can...
Make a perception check.
Okay. For a bug, let's go. Perception. 8.
8. You don't see anything. No, you look and don't see any disturbance in the forest.
Okay. No, I don't see anything, but it wasn't like a dangerous thing, right? It was just a bug.
Just a bug, yeah.
Siki, I gotta tell you, if you're hungry, dragonflies are not worth it.
Are they not?
No.
I don't know. I mean, you'd think being a turtle, I might have some expertise, but like, we're more of like a vegan turtle. We don't really, not vegan because I do eat meat, but you know, bugs is a little...
I was gonna say you've eaten a lot of bacon.
I have eaten a lot of
bacon.
bacon. Bacon is, you know, sometimes when you're out in nature, you just gotta eat bacon, you know?
Indeed.
Bacon's good, but if you just stay vegan towards dragonflies, I'd recommend that.
I'm not sure that's how vegan works, but yeah, okay.
Whatever vegan is, I don't know what it is.
You all continue walking through the forest. You all continue walking through the forest. You go for about an hour or so. And as you get deeper and deeper in, Hyde, there's a moment where you look and see a tree that is not like the rest of them. In that, it's much more familiar to you. It's much more similar to one of the types of jungle trees that you would have been used to growing up around in Eachton. And you look at it for a moment, and you look for another one, and there is no other one. Just in your line of sight, there's just one that's transplanted here.
But I did see at some point when I climbed the tree, I saw like the parting of the forest to the jungle.
It was gradual. It wasn't like a clear line. It seemed to be jagged to some degree. But yes, you did see where it turned more into the jungles.
Well, we're getting close. This is a big jungle tree. This is what it looks like when I'm home. So
Nice.
That's good, right?
That's good to hear.
yeah. I mean, we read about the jungles, right? Like something in the jungles. I mean, Siki, you were the one that doing the reading, but the jungles seem to be an important part. And this is certainly a jungle tree, so.
Jungle is better than Nothing but rocks.
Before we move on, I just kind of want to touch the tree just to, I don't know, it feels like home, you know.
You reach out and touch it, and there's this ever so slight, like you have to push to like make sure you didn't imagine it, because it almost moves. But only when you first touched it, and like you push and you're like, no, that's a full tree. That's not going anywhere.
Like the feeling of like almost like a force barrier between my hand and the tree.
No, like
it wasn't
like
there.
Like the small touch of your hand pushed the tree a little bit.
Oh.
But then you kind of push back again. Yeah, you push harder. It doesn't go anywhere. It's a full on tree.
What precisely are you doing?
Here, come here. Try to push this tree.
It's a
Go
tree.
ahead. Yeah, right. I'm well aware. Push it hard with all your might. No, harder. Like put your back into it.
It's a tree.
Both hands.
Doesn't move. No.
Okay.
I walk over and join the tree touching.
Why precisely are we pushing on a tree?
I like put my hand on it.
Go really hard. Try your best.
Everyone pushes their hardest on the tree.
It's a tabaxi tradition. So,
Oh.
well, welcome to the club.
Do you have to do it to all the trees?
Yes. Everyone that you see. But jungle trees, that's why we haven't been doing it to other forest trees.
I'm just looking at the three of
Interesting.
them touching a tree.
Do you
I
want
just
to
look at Luna and I'm like, yeah, we've been in the desert too long.
How is this tree height? Like 1 to 10?
It's healthy. It's a 10 tree. 10 for sure. It's a big and healthy and
Yeah,
massive.
Seems to be a big healthy tree. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 10. It's a beautiful tree.
That's what I would have given it, but I'm not
You
an
gotta
expert.
follow your instincts. No, your gut was right.
Well, if we're quite done petting the tree, can we keep moving?
Sure. Let's keep going.
You all continue your trek north. Another hour goes by. You don't see another jungle tree in that time. And you realize that some sort of anomaly with this one being there, because that line of the forest changing does not seem to be imminent. It was a ways away when you first saw it from the treetops. You keep going.
Real quick,
And-
are we? I'm sorry. I just have a quick question. Are we making progress? Am I seeing the same landscapes over and over again, or is it like are we actually advancing?
Make a survival check, I would say.
$21.
21 seems to be making progress. You're not catching like any sort of loop, like you're not seeing the same trees over again, as best you can tell, and you feel pretty confident about that. Just seems to be a steady long trek. As you're going, there is another moment where you hear in the brush underneath you, and as you get deeper and deeper into the forest, it doesn't like become raucous by any stretch of the imagination, but you do start to hear more and more noises as you get deeper and deeper in. More and more, whether they're animals or other type of dwelling creatures. The forest is coming to life a little bit as you get deeper and deeper in. I would like everyone to make a perception check, please.
I believe the forest is my favorite terrain. Do I do that with advantage? Is this still forest?
Your proficiency bonus is doubled. So, are you +3 or +2 on proficiency? At the top of your sheet.
Proficiency. Oh, +3.
Okay, so roll your normal survival check and add an additional 3 to it.
An additional 3?
Yes. To whatever your normal bonus is.
Sure. I got a 15 overall.
Okay. Gamork.
4.
Okay. And Elgar?
18.
18. Okay. And what'd you have again, Siki?
Also 4.
Also a 4. Okay.
We're just in the
Luna
back
got a 12
talking.
if that matters.
You're all looking about.
Pushing trees.
Pushing trees, yep. Elgar, it catches your eye first as you are walking. There is some form. So there's a tree up ahead to your left. And sitting against the bottom of it, with its kind of back around the back side of the tree from where you're facing, you can just see kind of a shoulder and the legs sticking out. There's some figure sitting against the tree.
Does it look like normal sized, or are we talking like a weird size?
Best you can tell, it seems somewhat normal size, although between,
Distance
halfling and human, hard to tell from this distance, yeah.
Okay.
It's not like a giant or super tiny.
Okay, that's why I want to make sure.
Yeah.
I'll just kind of stop whoever. Well, I'm kind of rear guard, so I guess grab whoever's right in front of me and hey, the tree.
We're talking about there's trees everywhere.
No, that one. There's somebody sitting behind it, or something.
Okay. I'm assuming we see it after he points to
Yeah,
the...
after he points it out, you all see kind of the legs sticking out.
Okay. Should we approach carefully or barged in? All of us at the same time.
I don't particularly trust anything in this forest, so I would say very carefully.
How far away is he?
It's probably about 20, 30 feet away.
Okay.
I think carefully. Yeah, I'll go to the left.
Let's have everyone roll a stealth check then to sneak up
Oh,
on
no.
it.
I'm gonna
disadvantage
climb.
for your armor.
I'm gonna climb on Luna. If
Okay.
I climb on Luna and I'm on top of her, do I have to roll stealth if she's the one that's like moving?
No, I'll say that she can roll it. Yeah. All right, Siki.
12, actually.
Okay, 12. Gamorg.
7.
7. Elgar.
I got a 15, but I'm not really gonna go for stealth. I'm gonna walk straight towards it, like full
Okay.
armor and just like not fully drawn sword, but
Okay.
it ready.
So you're kind of being the front man while everybody else stealths around.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And then,
I'm wearing full armor. I can't
Luna.
sneak.
Right.
Luna got a 14.
A 14. Okay. So the rest of you kind of spread out a little bit and try to sneak in with varying degrees of success. Elgar, you kind of half draw the sword and kind of walk up in that direction. As you come around the corner, the legs don't move at all. It doesn't seem to take note of your presence. As you turn around the tree and get a good look, you see what seems to be a halfling man who is sitting back against the tree, or probably a better description would be back halfway into the tree. Chest halfway through the tree, as the tree itself seems to be splitting him from the side up through the chest, up through half of the face, only half of his face peering out of the tree itself. It doesn't look like some sort of cranny that he was shoved into. It literally looks like it's grown up through him or phased directly through him. There's just a clean line, like it's not split apart or anything. It's as if he grew out of the side of this tree, and he is sitting there in just kind of a blank expression and not moving.
Hey. I'm gonna take a step
No
towards it.
reply. Doesn't move.
I guess since no one's sneaking, I'm just gonna walk up to this person too.
Yeah, same.
Or
Did
with
he
Luna,
get-
I guess.
Eaten by a tree?
And that's not eaten by the tree. That's more absorbed.
Is he dead?
Can I check?
Make a medicine check.
No.
His
4 again.
A 4.
Yes.
You walk forward and you begin to, you reach out gingerly and touch the body. It does not respond. It doesn't seem to be stiff, but it is cold. And you feel for a pulse and you don't find one.
and his eyes are closed?
His eyes are open, and the only one eye you can see, because the other one's on the part of the face that's in the tree. When it's just staring straight ahead, it hasn't budged. At best you can tell, he seems completely dead.
That's a bit unnerving.
Yeah.
Do you guys want me to talk to him?
I feel
That
like
might be a good idea.
if we've been tromping up here and he hasn't responded, I think he might not be with us anymore.
Yeah, but she can talk to dead people.
It's a special ability. If I can remember where it is.
That's a bit unorthodox, but all right.
Can I check his pockets while all of this is going on?
Mm-hmm. Make an investigation check.
While he's doing that, can I just look at the guy and see if
15.
there's any markings or anything that would tell me anything about him?
Yeah, you get a good look at him, and he seems to be wearing simple clothes, perhaps a farmer or something. There's mud on the boots, at the bottom of the boots. With a 15, you dig around in his pockets. You find a couple copper pieces, little rolled up bit of string or twine. But there's only one pocket that you can get to, and that's all you find in that one.
Nothing good. I mean, these trees are appearing and disappearing, right? That's what happened when we were in the desert. So maybe he was taking a nap and a tree just appeared on top of him.
Yikes.
Maybe?
Oh, that's awful.
That's
I mean, maybe?
Makes
kind
sense
of
to
a
me.
horrible way to die. Not a clean death at all.
I mean, do you want to talk to him? Do you think it's worth it?
I mean, it's the first thing that we've seen around here that's human. Is he human?
He's halfling.
A halfling. Oh, okay. I mean, we get 5 questions. Can you guys want to, think of some questions to ask him?
I think
mean,
it would be good
guess-
to know where he's from,
Yeah.
because this is definitely not normal.
And is this a tree that is a silver tree, or it's one of the jungle trees again?
This is one of the silver trees, yes.
Okay.
Just asked him if what he was doing here, what happened to him.
Maybe ask him what this place is, so we can figure out what it was before all the trees.
And I don't know, maybe a Hail Mary, but maybe you want to ask him about if he knows anything about, teeth, what we're researching.
Yeah.
Maybe he was like a follower or something like that.
Maybe.
What is this that you're researching?
It's need to know information only, so you don't have the clearance.
Elgar, make a religion check.
That would be a 21.
21. So the name Stith catches your ears right away. God of pestilence, minor deity, follower of Chenadine, the god of death. Again, the gods have not been heard from in 1,000 years, but the worship of the darker gods has been all but eradicated. And to hear that name thrown about, it's odd. It's not something people talk about.
It's a bit unusual. Why?
As are we.
Well, that's very true. Why are you dealing with gods that have no business being dealt with?
We're not dealing with those gods, but some other people have been dealing with those gods, and that's why we find ourselves here. So we are trying to, I don't know, find out as much as we can about this Steed person, and that's it. We don't have any ploy or anything like that, if that's what you're implying.
Does this...
I mean, this has happened a lot, like people going in and out of where they shouldn't be. And we think that this god has something to do with it.
That would be why I ran into you in the desert.
Right.
It's because we're having the same issue.
Mm-hmm.
But we have no information or leads as to why this is happening. That's why my battalion and I came through the portals. So you've had this information and you didn't feel it was necessary to share it.
What information?
Even a clue as to what's going on. We've lost multiple battalions in the last month to these. That's why I'm here. That's why I lost the rest of my battalion.
I don't know if you think we know anything, but we don't know anything. We know a couple names, and we find ourselves in the same situation that you are. So don't get all attitude with me, okay?
Fair.
Keep your attitude and put it in your pocket.
Fair enough. Ma'am, are you going to speak to the dead man or not?
Yep, sure, yep, okay. I'm just gonna, take a deep breath and then pull out some components and some herbs and then speak a prayer and just kind of, cast the spell.
The herbs and components kind of grind to dust and scatter out in front of you, hitting the nostrils, or nostril of the man half absorbed into a tree in front of you. And there's a moment where all of a sudden the eye that you can see kind of rolls around a little bit, and he seems to be trying to catch a breath full of air that won't come. But he goes to turn and look towards you, and some of the body twists, but the rest is still stuck in the tree, and the eye kind of turns in your direction.
No, don't move. Don't try to move. We found you like this. Where are you from?
I'm from Aurora. My farm's just outside of Aurora. What am I doing here?
What were you doing right before this?
I sat down to catch a few minutes of rest under a tree, and why can't I move? He his hand comes up and starts pushing against the tree, trying to push his own self out.
No.
That won't do you any good, sir.
There is something wrong with the tree. We'll explain in a minute. Did you hear anything? Did you, sense any premonition of it? Did you hear a noise or something?
I sat down a little before dark to catch some rest. I must have fallen asleep into the night. Next thing I know, I'm waking up here.
Okay.
Before this happened, did you see anything odd around your farm? Was there any odd visitors, odd animals, unusual weather?
His eye just keeps looking at Siki, waiting for the one who summoned him to ask a question.
Yes, sorry. Part of the spell is that I have to talk to him. It's okay.
Very rude.
That is
It's
a good
okay, Siki.
That's a good question, though. Did you see anything out of the ordinary or odd before you took your nap?
Not that day, no. We'd heard that something was going on over in Ferrith. But they'd had some sort of troubles with the ground opening up, but that hadn't happened with us yet. Am I dead? Why can't I move?
In the strictest sense of the word, yes.
Oh, goodness.
You should probably end the enchantment. I don't know if there's anything that we need to know from him.
So this was his farm? Is that...
He was on his farm.
He's a long ways from home.
Yeah.
DM question real quick.
Yeah.
Are these locations that we would know?
Aurora is the town right next to Ferrith.
Okay.
Aurora is where, so you all would be very familiar with that. If you remember from last season, Aurora is where the two little gnome boys went and spent all your money.
All right.
Ask him if he knows the two little gnome boys.
I'm not going to ask him that.
So, just so I
Asking-
understand, he fell asleep at his home and woke up here, or
He fell asleep under a tree on his farm.
on his farm, which is very far away,
Which is
presumably.
very, as far as you know, very far
Okay.
away from here.
Weird.
So he's shifted here somehow. Ask him if there's anyone that we need to give a message to or anything that we can do to send him on his way. Give the man a decent...
Sir, after I ask you this question, you're going to go back to sleep. And when you wake up, you'll be under a beautiful tree with the sun shining on you, and it will be very peaceful. But I have to ask you first, what is your name and the name of your family?
Oh, my name is Merrick. My wife's name is Bethany. We've got a little farm outside of Aurora, and I got a dog named... He kind of grins a little bit, and you see a little tear come down the one eye that you can see. I got a dog named Styx.
Oh.
Oh. All right. That was the fifth
And
question.
then with that, the eye goes
Well.
limp.
I'm gonna close the eye.
Breath leaves him. Okay.
I say we got more questions than answers from that.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but I feel depressed.
I will say
Yeah.
that feels like a horrible way to die. That's an awful way to go.
There is
hope
a crashing sound behind you all. You all whip and turn, and it makes everyone jump. You don't see anything, and then you hear another crashing sound, and then another crashing sound, and you realize all of a sudden it's coming from a distance. As you look through the trees, and you just see a tall pair of legs, almost made of dark branches and vines, but 10, 15 feet high, just the legs alone, just go walking left to right until
How
it disappears into the forest.
You guys saw that, right?
right.
Okay.
That's not something that I'm familiar with from my days in the jungle, right?
It is not.
I would say whatever it is going that way. We should go the opposite.
No. We're getting close. We're making progress. We should keep going north. He's going perpendicular, and we need to go the other way. I just hope these woods aren't littered with dead people in the middle of trees. Because that would suck.
Yeah.
That
Alright, that's a bummer. Let's keep going.
that's yes.
Keep walking. And as you go, the activity continues to pick up. You hear another set of crashing footsteps deep in the forest somewhere. You don't see anything that goes with it. You see all of a sudden some of the trees aren't fully the jungle trees, but they seem merged with the silver ones. Half silver, half brown, half silver, half brown, kind of weaving their way up. At one point, you see the feet and tail of what seems to be some sort of small fox-like creature merged with some small stone boulder along the side of the path, just tail and legs sticking out.
That's
And
unsettling.
And then you see walking, stumbling through the forest, a figure, humanoid, wearing gleaming armor, with blue undercloth, just stumbling randomly, and as you get a little closer, you see one of the arms is missing cleanly from the shoulder. It looks as if it was just cleaved with a butcher's knife. You can see the bone cut through clean and showing. And this figure is just stumbling. You see that it's a woman of human descent, it seems to be. And she's just kind of dazed and looking about, and she stops and leans against a tree and holds it. Breathes heavy.
You said silver and blue.
Silver and blue.
How far away is she from us?
50, 60 feet.
Do I
feel like we
recognize her?
should call her.
Do I recognize her?
You make a perception check.
13.
13. You don't recognize her. You recognize the outfit.
The armor.
As a Saints Preserve paladin.
I'm gonna go straight towards her then.
And as you get closer, you realize the reason you don't recognize her is that her rank is very low. And she's probably very new. The armor is very, very fresh as well. And she's just stumbling, and she tries to move on from the tree and continue, and then just kind of falls to her knees and looks over at the missing arm. Looks down at the ground.
Soldier. I'm gonna walk right up to her. Soldier, what?
Oh,
Rank and
Captain.
battalion.
Oh. Is it stew tonight? And she falls backwards
Oof.
and just looks up lifeless into the sky.
Can I do a medicine check?
She,
Okay.
Ooh.
10.
10. There's a small pulse.
Okay.
I have
I'm
cure
gonna
wounds.
cast-
I have cure
yeah.
wounds. I'm gonna use it on her.
Okay. So you reach down and cast Cure Wounds. You see the arm wound heal over a little bit, like very, very new pink flesh, kind of just the first layer kind of come over. And her eyes kind of, where am I?
As they're doing all that, I'm just gonna make sure that the perimeter is clear, that we're not being like watched or someone
Yep.
is coming towards
Go
us.
ahead and roll a perception check.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Okay.
Nice.
You look around and you are pretty certain that you do not see anyone else in the nearby vicinity.
I guess I'm gonna like get down because she's still laying on the ground.
Yeah,
So I'm
she's
gonna
kind
kinda-
of on her back, kind of reaching and looking at her arm and starting to shake again.
Soldier, focus on me. Focus on me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Rank and battalion.
7th Battalion.
Where-
First rank Paladin, Terrawin, sir.
Where's your sergeant? Where's your lieutenants?
I don't know.
Do you know
hold
where?
on.
Do you know
Elgar,
where you
hold-
are?
We were on patrol. And then the lightning came. And then she looks back at the arm.
Don't look at your arms, soldier. Focus on me. Focus on me. 7th Battalion. You were patrolling towards the east of Saints Preserve, weren't you?
Yes, sir, northeast.
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 How far out of Saints Preserve were you? Do you remember?
A day. A day.
And you left the same day that I did. You should be several hundred miles from me, not this close. I
Just glazed over looking at you.
Does anybody have water?
Sure, I have a water skin.
Yep.
I give it to you.
Thank you.
As he's giving her water, I'm gonna cast Calm Emotions on her.
Okay. Alright.
What
so
does that do? She turns
It's
into
like
a
a
werewolf.
chill pill.
She does not know what you're doing. She resists it. She rolls a 21 on her saving throw.
Dang.
against it. And so
Hey.
she
What is my
does not even
13?
take note of the magical influence and continues to start to breathe heavy. And she takes some of the water and it spills all over her. And she's like,
All right.
Did you find the others,
Not as of yet. Right now,
Sergeant? And my fellow were with.
my battalion is missing as well. Right now, it's us and these wanderers that came to my rescue.
You're gonna be safe with us. I know this is a difficult situation, and it must be very hard and confusing, but rest assured that we know what we're doing and you'll at least be safe.
I walked for. She begins to cry.
Do
I
you
walked for 2 days.
you've been
There.
here wounded for 2 days by yourself?
I walked for 2 days.
Where were you walking from?
It was south.
Did
They're back there. I have to. She just tries
You'll
to sit
come.
up.
uh,
I told them I'd find help. I was the only one. They lost their. I lost my arm, but I could still walk.
what happened to them? Trust me, we've seen some strange things in the forest. What happened to your battalion?
The sergeant's barely alive. My fellow recruit. His legs at the knees.
He can't
Gone.
walk.
He can't.
Do you think you can find your way back if I go with you?
I can try.
What are you talking about? You both are not gonna make it on your own. We need to stick together.
We are paladins of Saints Preserve. We protect each other.
I understand, but if you leave the group now, it's only more dangerous. There's no use of just splitting on your own. We're going the same way.
Soldier, when you left your sergeant and your fellow battalion, were they fortified? Were they camped somewhere where they were at least secure? Or were they in this forest?
We were among the rocks in the sand. We found what shelter we could. I dragged them as best I could. I don't know if they're still alive, but... She looks at you and she puts an arm up on your arm. She says, "We are bound."
Either way, we have to reclaim them. Unfortunately, I can't ask you, and I'm gonna look right at you, Hyde. I can't ask you to honor my vows, but I have to honor my vows. And I have to take my soldier and see what happened. This may answer where some of my missing battalions went as well. We've lost, I think, 8 and now my own 9 battalions in the last week. We're losing soldiers left and right. We can't have this. And if there's a clue as to what's happening, I have to find out what's going on.
I understand where you're coming from, and it's honorable, but I don't think you're gonna get any new information where you're going. Where we are going, we're going for answers. There's answers in this edifice. That's why we're heading there. And if you stick with us, we'll be better and we'll be stronger, but if you feel like you have to go honor your vow, I can't stop you. I just know that you won't be as safe.
Can you come with us to figure out whatever this place is and then go?
We'll go with you, but we can't right now.
I mean, the answer might be there.
I'm telling you, you won't find anything new. You'll find injured soldiers and sergeants and nothing but loss.
At this point, does the soldier, does she look physically stable enough to move and to stand? Obviously, mentally and emotionally, she's beat up.
Yeah, she's sitting up. She's still shaky. And she wasn't bleeding before. She seems to have, essentially cauterized the wound from the get-go, which is how she was able to be on her feet. Your cure wounds has now helped a small bit of flesh grow over. And she's more just kind of like gingerly touching it, like trying to get used to, not having her arm. And kind of switching her sword to the other side of her belt so that it can be drawn with the left hand. And she kind of gets on her feet and tightens it a bit, and she's like, "Good enough. I can still swing a sword.
You're a
I
paladin.
can still keep my oath."
That I would expect nothing less. Unfortunately, I think I'm torn. My duty is to the paladins, and I must see soldiers that are under my care safely home. But you all are searching for the answers that we need as well. I have to take care of my soldiers. I'm sorry. Let me say this. If you find out what's happening, and you have any way to get a message to us in Saints Preserve, ask for me, ask for Lieutenant Elgar, ask for any of us, and we'll do all we can to help you. But at this point, unfortunately, my sword belongs to the paladins, and I have to see her home and see what happened to the rest of the battalion, see if there's any answers we can find there. If I find any answers, is there a way that someone can get a message to you? Is there somewhere that you're headed that I can have a message left for you?
I mean, we don't know where we are.
I don't know where I'm at.
Maybe Ferrith eventually? I don't know.
Eventually, Ferrith.
All right.
I can contact you if I need to as well. If you hear a voice in your head, don't dismiss it immediately. Unless it's not me, in which case, yes, dismiss it immediately.
Spam.
It wouldn't be the first time I had heard a voice from someone that was relaying a message. Usually it's a commanding officer, though.
Oh, that's true. Yes, okay, yeah,
So
sure.
it would be unusual to hear your voice, but not to hear a voice.
Okay.
But let me give you what supplies I can, and wish you the best in your journeys. Be
You as
careful.
well.
Be careful. It seems a rather treacherous place.
You too.
So,
I wish I could say that I understand, but I don't. But at least I understand honor, and that's respectable. So, go with the wind, and I don't know. I'm not a very religious man. I don't know what to say. And also keep your supplies. You'll need them. It's only two of you in the jungle. It's a dangerous place.
That's true.
thank you. Well, and I guess I'm going to turn to her, kind of get her situated with what we can. Soldier, lead as best you can.
Yes, sir. She takes off. Slow, but heading in a pretty slightly southwest direction.
And watch out for that giant tree thing. That looks very bad.
We will avoid that.
You all watch as these two armored figures, the silver of their armor eventually merging with the silver of the trees in the distance as they disappear into the forest. And after a while, the clank, clank, clank sounds become smaller and smaller until they're gone.
Wow. Well, that was unusual.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I never even got to see him use his sword.
We didn't, did we?
Right?
I think he used it in the first
Just
battle.
a little bit at the beginning when he was
I think
yeah.
we saw him post.
fighting the big.
I saw him carrying around his neck a whole lot, but I didn't see him kill anyone with it.
I would assume that somebody who can carry a sword that big can also wield it fairly well. I wouldn't be too worried. It would have been kind of fun to see him, like,
We'll
chop down
never
a tree
know.
or something, though. Right?
Oh, we should have asked him that before.
We should have. Although that might be bad since we're in a forest full of trees that could eat us.
That's true.
Right. Wow. That's weird. Okay, wow. we just lost a companion, but I
Yeah.
guess we didn't really know him. It's fine, I guess.
Yeah.
We've managed. We'll keep managing. Right?
Yeah. Got
Right.
the four of us. We're
Okay.
good.
You guys don't seem very confident, but it's okay. I know that you're.
We're just trying to
There you go.
process life.
Feels kind of like when my dad left.
Oh boy.
Just kind of.
Just kidding. My dad didn't leave. I'm kidding.
We can talk about that later if you want. It's okay. Just not right now. It's a weird time.
It was a joke. Okay, never mind.
Can I insight check him to see if I
Yeah,
was a
insight
joke?
check him. Insight check him to see if it was a joke or not.
Oh, we're about to dive deep. I got a natural 19. Let's go. Insight 22.
Was the joke masking some pain, Gamorg?
No, it was just a joke.
Okay. Just a joke.
Oh, dang it. Okay.
He doesn't have
that-
the dramatic backstory that Destacado has.
And that's okay. Not every character. We support all characters here.
Yes.
So, after a time, you all begin walking north again. Coming up on late in the afternoon, you see it goes quiet for a little while. Still an animal here or there, but no other encounters. Until you come across and this is a portion where the forest is starting to become even more and more jungle-like. There's still a lot of silver trees, but they're starting to, for every 5 silver trees, there's 1 jungle tree, and it is starting to merge. And you come across a little campfire, and there's a small, tiny tent, like just big enough to sleep under, and a couple supplies sitting around, and the campfire is just flickering ever so slightly. And you can see that in the, about 60, 80 feet away from you.
Is there anyone around the campfire?
Make a perception check.
Perception. 24.
24. You look, and you don't see anyone at first, and then you look again, and there seems to be someone lying down behind, like on the other side of the fire, someone on their back.
Well, I think... Do you guys see that campfire?
Yeah.
I can see someone there. Probably sleeping, but it wouldn't be a surprise if they're, like, dead.
Yeah.
This forest jungle is crazy.
Mm-hmm. Should we try to be quiet? Should we make some noise?
I feel like... Let's try to be quiet, whatever. Let's just try it. We're not very good at it, but...
No, we're not.
well, practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
All right,
let's keep trying.
checks.
That's the spirit.
Nice. Practice does make perfect. I got a 19 and Luna got... Sorry, I went first. I got a 19 and Luna got a 21.
Okay.
Nice.
Siki?
14.
Okay, Kamork?
21.
Nice.
Wow.
All right, so you all very quietly... I kind of got rid of the armored guy. This is so much easier to do. And you just sneak very quietly amongst the trees. As you're going, Siki, you are bringing up the rear because you're still maintaining quiet. You're just having to take longer to do it. You're not moving quite as fast. As such, as you're moving quietly and slowly, you kind of come around one of the trees and you see this odd thing in the tree where it almost looks like the tree's been damaged. Like there's this hole in the tree, but it's like splintered and cracked all around it. And there's little bits of wood chipping just kind of sitting on the ground around it as well. This is, 20 feet out from the camp or so.
Can I, touch it?
Yep, you touch it. It just kind of, it feels like rough, jagged edges, like something punctured the tree. You look and you see in the immediate area, you see one other tree kind of a little ways off to your left that seems to have a similar wound to it. But as you all get closer to the encampment, the figure lying down does not move. And as you get closer still, you see blood pooled up and around underneath this figure. It's a small creature. It's a gnome, it looks like, wearing leathers, like kind of these black leathers, has these tattoos that wrap up over the neck and up onto the bald head, almost like kind of tendrils that go up on either side, almost like spikes and tribal tendrils. But the eyes are looking straight up, and as you get close enough to see the wound, you can see the chest is just burst open, just punctured through, and this large hole in the chest, and there's just blood everywhere. Looking around, you also see a couple other things just kind of scattered. You see a small sack full of provisions, jerkies and dried fruits and whatnot. The gnome's hand is open, and there's just rolled out of the palm is a quarterstaff with beautiful kind of engravings all the way around it, and these translucent gems set kind of up and down all the way around the staff itself.
Are we within like 10 feet?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. Well, I think it's the same thing that happened with the last person. He just kind of appeared, maybe. And now he's dead.
But why all the blood?
That's a good question, actually. So there's a hole in his chest and he's just resting on the ground?
He's on the ground on his back. There's a large wound on his chest. I mean, not like a clean hole, like the armor is pierced. It's like something large, like punctured through him. You can see bone that's broken open and everything from his rib cage.
Is it a fresh wound?
Make a medicine check.
I would imagine that it's like a branch, maybe. It seems to be the motif, but why is he on the ground?
19.
19. The blood is not yet dry on the ground.
Oh, guys, this happened, like, recently. Can I look around? Do I see anything? Any
Make a
creature?
perception
Ooh. 20.
20. You stop, you pause, you look, you listen. You hear the crackle of the fire. You hear little bits of brush being disturbed by small woodland creatures. You hear the breathing of Luna, kind of heavy next to all of you. And then you hear kind of this limping, thudding noise coming from somewhere out in the trees. And then you hear...
I'm gonna take my bow and knock an arrow.
Okay.
I'm gonna get my sword out.
Okay. You all ready your weapons? As you stand there and wait and watch, a shape begins to emerge from the forest in front of you. And with it, this deep, baritone, desolate wailing sound. This... And you see this large, hulking figure with long arms that reach almost to the ground, dragging the hands behind it, shuffling odd, with these shoulders that are hunched up high and this tiny little head perched on top. And with one arm seems to be broken off at the wrist, and then a long tendril of flesh leading to a hand that itself is some sort of barbed hook that it drags behind it as it comes towards you. And with the other hand, more humanoid, on the left, it reaches out towards you all and just goes... You then suddenly hear this sound. And Gamorg, your eye darts up to the tree next to you as you see in the tree branches to your left and just a little bit behind you, a figure crouched in the branches, kind of grabbing on for steadiness, looking down intently at whatever this entity is that's making its way towards you.